So is Chris Sims. He's not afraid to hurt your feelings. Pro Football Talk Live co-host and contributor to Football Night in America, former NFL quarterback. And we have the 2023 Sims Top 40 Quarterback Countdown that we'll get to coming up in a moment. Help me understand what happened in Buffalo, and is there another shoe to drop here? Everything okay in Buffalo with Stefan Diggs and Josh Allen?
Well, I think we're all going to have our antennas up here, right? I do think things are okay, yes, but I mean, we know they're a team that's in the Super Bowl window. It's one of the best combinations in football, Allen to Diggs. So I think all of us were, maybe not. I wasn't surprised. I think we all knew maybe something in there with Stefan Diggs till it got to the point that it got to on Tuesday. I think that was a little shocking. By talking to some people and having a little feel, I don't know the full story, but it seems like it's a number of things. It's not just one thing there, right? Whether it's, a little bit more money, wanting the ball more, wanting better results from the team, wanting the ball more in big situations. I could kind of see all of that being part of this stew of issues that, Stefan Diggs has. Right. Obviously, there was some sort of a argument or a blowout on Tuesday. McDermott said they needed some space, so that's why he went home. So that obviously wasn't a great conversation there, right? But I think we're all going to be looking at it now because, is this going to become a distraction? And I'm surprised it got to this point. And I think that's what Josh Allen was trying to say on Tuesday too. They got to be better. He's got to be better at calling and reaching out. The organization, I don't know what he was trying to say. Maybe they got to be better in letting Stefan Diggs know how important he is to them and how much they love him. It seems like a bunch of that stuff's going on. And I just hope it doesn't make it a distraction for this football team because I like watching them and I like watching Diggs and Allen.
Wide receivers as rookies. It used to be they didn't contribute. It was really difficult to make that transition. We're seeing young receivers making an impact. Why have things changed where you're drafting a receiver, you expect your receiver to be a major contributor?
Yeah. No, I think it's a little bit, Dan, and I think we've had this conversation in the past a little bit about the quarterbacks, right? Because that expectation level has gone way up, too, for even rookie quarterbacks. We know they're going to go through struggles, but, hey, we almost expect all of them to be able to play and do something positive, right? Where I think it's a little bit of the culture in our country and where football is right now, just with how much – it's sixth grade. My son's in sixth grade, seventh grade. There's flag football all year round. Kids are getting to run around, catch the ball. You get to high school. High school teams are throwing the ball 40 times a game. They're playing 7-on-7 and stuff like that in the off season. And then the same with college, to where I just feel like they're more adapted and ready to go in the pass game maybe than what they used to be in the old days, where you came out of college and they were like, we just had a basic pass offense, and you get to the NFL, and whoa, there's a lot to learn here. It's colleges are pretty, a lot more advanced than what they ask receivers to do now than maybe they did 15, 20, 30 years ago. Yeah,
I brought up that I think Zay Flowers has a chance to be really special with Baltimore. I think he's really talented, even though he came out of BC, and we're like, hey, Boston College with him?
Right.
And then, Odell Beckham is the old guy now at age 30. I'm just curious, those injuries and the way he played, like what would be the expectation level for you if you're John Harbaugh or Lamar Jackson for Odell Beckham this year?
I mean, I don't think it's fair to say like I'm a huge Odell Beckham Jr. fan, and I know he's got the injuries, but do I think he can get 1,000 yards receiving? Absolutely, right?
Okay,
I do. Not to say that it's just going to be easy and like a walk in the street. Now, I don't think he's going to be like leading the league in receiving yards like a Jamar Chase or a Justin Jefferson or a Tyreek Hill. But, do I think like his ultimate potential could lead him to being, hey, he's the go-to guy. He's the guy they throw to on 3rd and 8, and he's leading the team in receiving yards? I certainly think that's there. I don't expect him to quite be as explosive as he was, but we're talking about a guy that was like as explosive as we've ever seen. So, and I know it's 2 ACLs, but I still think you're going to see someone that can run by people and make some things happen after the catch.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Yeah, we had a social media exchange last year, late in the season, when everybody was talking about him going to the Cowboys. And I said, has anybody asked the question, can he even play now? And he called me an outsider. And basically saying, what I didn't know anything. Well, I did know because he didn't play. And nobody asked that question. It was like everybody wanted to sign him. I said, can he play? And, we found out that he couldn't play. All right, you have your list here. The Sims Top 40 Quarterback Countdown.
Right.
You got different categories here.
Yeah, we made some things, I make the list, and then as we get ready to do a certain show on the podcast where we might be releasing 5 or 6, we tried to come up with something creative to explain that tier, right? And that just was something that I think helped out on social media a little bit.
All right, so Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, your top 3, then Justin Herbert.
Yep, right, right.
Lamar Jackson, Trevor Lawrence, Jalen Hurts. Aaron Rodgers is 8, Deshaun Watson 9, Matthew Stafford, who you have a man crush on, is 10. Okay.
All right. So, what do you want to ask me first? What do you think?
I'm trying to figure out: is Jalen Hurts great, or is he on a great team?
Right. I think that's what I'm trying to figure out, too. I got a lot of pushback.
Keep in mind, they were going to use their 2 first-round picks if they had to move up in this draft if Jalen Hurts didn't work out. There was a report that Russell Wilson turned down coming to the Eagles last offseason.
Right.
They weren't sold on Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts surprised the Eagles.
Exactly. That's where my job is I want to say all those things you said sometimes for all the people that hate on me or whatever get mad about my views there. And I want to be like, wait, the team that's employing him was also trying to trade for Deshaun Watson too and got involved in that as well.
Yeah.
Right. So he's really damn good. Things are going in the upward trajectory. We know that. He's, I think, one of the top leaders in football, which I take into account. The teams believe, your ability to take the team through some tough times and all of that, right? But I think your question is real. He did improve as a passer. He makes one thing when I watch him, he is a machine and he makes the right play and the right decision time after time after time. But to your big question there, yes, I question that, and I do still think there's room there that has to be improved. He's for NFL starting quarterback standards, he's a little bit above average as far as a thrower, a passer, his arm in the NFL. And I know the Super Bowl was really good. It was really good, but it's not as good as what people think. And I think to me, that was a little bit of the microcosm of still the issue or the thing I'd like to see Jalen Hurts get better. I know he threw for 350 yards. I get that. But the Chiefs played a defense that whole game that was like sell out to stop the run. I mean, I laughed watching the film in that game because I was like, man, Steve Spagnuolo must be on the sideline going, I can't believe I'm calling this defense on the 37-yard line on 2nd and 9, and I'm going to blitz everybody to stop the run game and leave A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith with no help and just leave them on an island. And to me, that's the area where Hurts still has to improve because what I would say is the quarterbacks in front of him, that the Chiefs' defense would not be able to play that style against them. Trevor Lawrence, some of those other quarterbacks in front of him, Herbert, Burrow, Mahomes, they would have thrown for 500 yards if they were played that way. And that's, to me, where there has to be a more of an improvement. You think about big moments during the year for the Eagles, they usually relied on the run game more than the pass. Needed a must-win drive against the Colts to win the game. They ran the ball all the way down the field. The Cowboys in the first Sunday night game early in the year, game got close. They went, we're going to run the ball every play. So I have the same thought you do. I see a lot of positive things. He certainly proved me wrong, but I still have a few more questions.
All right, your next 10, Daniel Jones, 11th. Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott, 13. Russell Wilson, Geno Smith, Ryan Tannehill, Jared Goff, Derek Carr. Kyler Murray is 19. Mac Jones is 20. All right, help me understand Daniel Jones here.
Well, Daniel Jones, I mean, you've heard me talk about this before, right? I mean, all quarterbacks need a little support or something. And I'm big into watching the game and going, what was there to be had, right? You've heard me say this before. And what did you make out of it, right? And I'm not one like some of these grading companies that goes, oh, they got a 5-yard completion, ooh, positive grade. I sometimes see the 5-yard completion and go, wait, there's a guy screaming open down the middle for a 40-yard gain. That was that. Yeah, you can give him a nice little, okay, good job getting the completion, but we just left a touchdown on the board or a 50-yard completion on the board. Or I'm big into, wait, nothing is there. There's nobody open. The protection's not that great, and they're still getting positive yards. And when I watched Daniel Jones, he made the offense go this year. Most people can't name receivers on the Giants.
That's true.
If they were open by half an inch, he hit them.
But he's not even the most valuable player on his side of the ball.
Well, yeah, I know your Saquon Barkley's more sexy. I think he is more valuable. I don't think the Giants could have done what they did last year without Daniel Jones. His ability to throw the ball with people around him in the pocket, where they still weren't a good offensive line, and still throw the ball and put it on the money. And then, Dan, I think the other thing, too, is his running ability is what opened up the offense for everything, because you had to worry. He's one of the best quarterback runners in football. After Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, and Jalen Hurts, I would argue Daniel Jones and Josh Allen are the next guys in line that you'd go are the best running quarterbacks in football. And there's so many scrambles and runs where you go, nobody's open and they didn't protect, but he scrambled and ran for 15. So that's where I give him great value. He still doesn't have great support around him, but you saw for the first time in his career, he had some semblance of an offense and some semblance of pass protection. And they go to the playoffs, and he did really damn good, and I think took advantage of all that was there to be had. So that's where I liked what I saw from Daniel Jones.
Now, you got a group here of, you say, bleep or get off the pot.
Yeah.
Tua, Jimmy Garoppolo, Justin Fields, Baker Mayfield Jr. III.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard for Tua to not be really good this year.
Yeah, I think Tua's is...
If he's healthy,
right.
If you said he plays 17 games this year, I think he's going to put up really impressive numbers.
I don't
Now, why
disagree.
do you have him 21st?
Well, because like you just said, if he's healthy, you just put up numbers. And I want to go, well, yeah, there's like everybody in the top 20, we put them on the Dolphins. They're going to be, if they can stay healthy, they're going to put up numbers, right? And that's where I need to see more from Tua, too. Again, the game was made easy. There's a reason we heard teams play against the Dolphins last year and go, 1 yard pass, fake the 1 yard pass. Tyreek Hill's open for a 50-yard bomb. The game was a little bit easy that way. Then we saw some games where, they got a defensive game plan and they couldn't do anything.
So you think he's going to put up really good numbers? He's just not a really good quarterback.
Well, I just would like to see more. I need to see a little bit more of like the Chargers game or the 49ers game where some of the easy plays were taken away and now you got to start making some more high-level throws and quarterback plays, and he didn't do that in those games. So that's where, I'm still think he's very dependent on the system and the players around him. And I know everybody needs that to a degree.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I just need to see a little bit more. But certainly on the upward trajectory, he is quick as hell. He's got a quick release. He's got great touch and timing on a lot of throws. But yeah, then the health thing that you brought up too, that plays into this discussion too, and where he's ranked a little bit. I look at this as my quarterback depth chart. I'm not going to put a guy that I feel like is the most injury-prone guy on the list and go, well, I think I want to bring him off the bench first here, basically, right? So there's things I worry about there and still just need to see a little improvement from.
Well, you definitely need to see more from Brock Purdy. You have him 26th on the list.
Yes.
Jordan Love at 31.
Yeah. I like Jordan Love's talent. I've liked what I saw in the preseason.
He has
last
skilled
year.
Position players with him. He does. Running backs,
right.
Got some wide receivers.
Yeah, I hear you there. And, that's where this drill's hard. I try to take away the team, right? We're all playing on the same team. I try not to, but like, would the Packers shock me if they were in the playoffs this year? Absolutely not.
Would they shock you if they don't make the playoffs?
Not shocking. I think I would be shocked if I was like, they don't even come close to making the playoffs, so they're not even in the conversation, right? But I expect them to be in the conversation, and I think they're all the line's good. The running backs, the receivers, like you said, the defense underperformed last year and still was a top 12 defense in the game. I like his skills. I just got to see more and see him play. But he did give me some confidence about what he did last year when he did get to play against the Eagles and a little bit other times in the preseason.
Yeah, man, you love Matthew Stafford, don't you?
Well, let's talk about that just for a second, because since you brought it up twice, because again, let's not. This is not just all about last year, right?
But I have to factor in last year. He got hurt.
No, I know, and I do too. I'm with you too, and it's a fair question. That's where I love you, and I'm glad you are factoring it in. Okay. You're right, but I also have to factor in the year before that where he led the NFL in touchdowns and probably could have been or should have been the Super Bowl MVP. Right? So, and then, you take into account, and one of the things I said when I broke this down, out of the quarterbacks in the top 25, Matthew Stafford and Russell Wilson had the worst pass protection out of anybody. I mean, they had no chance. Matthew Stafford in the Buccaneers, Cowboys, 49ers game, that was almost human abuse. I mean, he would get the ball, and it was like, duck, save yourself, do it. I mean, you don't have time to look. Just throw it away and duck and chuck, man. So they had drives and points where I watched the game and go, oh, my gosh, what a throw. What a job in the pocket. Way to be tough. It's kind of a gift and a curse there. But, yeah, I'm a little bit maybe more of a believer in Matthew Stafford than most, and I get that.
Okay,
yep.
No worries.
Yep.
You're stirring it up. It's only June. I appreciate that.
I'm not trying to. I'm just, being me. But apparently being me stirs it up a little bit every now and then.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Dan. Tell the guys I said hi. What's up, everybody?
Guys, Chris says hi.
Hi,
Chris.
Hi, guys.
Chris. Chris Sims, NBC Sports, and, of course, co-host with Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk. We'll come back. Your phone calls next.